Jey Uso's next world title defense. After Raw Classic with Seth Rollins, set for Saturday night's main event, reports. After seeing off a gritty Seth Rollins in his first ever world title defense, Jey Uso is gearing up for another. It might happen at Saturday night's main event. Hello guys. Welcome to my channel, I am Elena. Have a nice day. For the latest news update, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. Last week on Raw, Seth Rollins came agonizingly close to dethroning Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship on Raw. However, a CM Punk run-in caused the DQ, which allowed the real-life Joshua Fatu to retain the belt. Now, there's no rest for the weary, as Uso's next challenger is already mapped out. As per Fightful Select, the 39-year-old is penciled in to take on Logan Paul at Saturday night's main event on May 24th. The seeds for this feud were planted a couple of weeks ago after the Maverick confronted the Yeet Master on Raw. Their face-off ended with Paul getting superkicked by USO. The YouTuber avenged that embarrassment later on in the same night after ambushing the former Bloodline member backstage. In fact, Paul wasn't done. Last week after the show went off air, the impulsive host sucker-punched the world champ. After USO bore the brunt of it, he was checked on by CM Punk and Sami Zayn at ringside. As of now, the Maverick would feel he has Uso's number. Paul did pull off a major upset by beating AJ Styles at WrestleMania 4-1. He could use that confidence to his advantage and potentially emulate those exploits on the Yeet Master. USO took the world title from Gunther. They were the opening match on WrestleMania Saturday and delivered on expected lines. The former one-half of the USOs made the ring general tap out in an extremely rare sight. It was Uso's first ever win over the Austrian in WWE. But Gunther, though, still leads by 3-1. What Paul Heyman had to say to Jey Uso on Raw. This past week's opening of Raw had a passionate Paul Heyman confronting Jey Uso and explaining to him why he dumped his cousin, Roman Reigns. To everyone calling him a snake, the WWE Hall of Famer asserted how the OTC left him high and dry to rot in the custody of Solo Sikoa and Mad Tongans after WrestleMania XL. That version of the Bloodline even assaulted Heyman and put him through a table at Madison Square Garden. The Wiseman reminded USO that at one point they were the heartbeat of this company. He had to go low on Reigns because he never actually cared about his Wiseman again after returning at SummerSlam last year. In fact, the tribal chief was only concerned about getting his Ulafala back from Sikoa. After clarifying his side of the story, Heyman set his sights on the world title resting around Uso's waist and told him that Seth Rollins is the one that'll take it off him. The visionary almost made his manager's prophecy come true later that night. Rollins would have beaten USO if it wasn't for CM Punk. Roman Reigns heavily praised Jey Uso prior to his WrestleMania glory. Roman Reigns spoke his heart out on Jey Uso's meteoric rise in WWE. The OTC was on Pat McAfee's show before WrestleMania. Reigns spoke about growing up with both Jimmy and Jey Uso and being proud of the Yeet Master breaking down barriers, especially because he was always considered a runt. The Big U said he's extremely proud of the 39-year-old. Addressing their intense on-screen battles in recent years, Reigns added that families do fight, but he wants the absolute best for them. It hasn't been lost on anyone that USO pinned the tribal chief at Money in the Bank 2023, which was a tag team match. The significance of that moment was such that Reigns hadn't been pinned by anyone since 2019. The Yeet Master scrapped that 3.5-year-long streak, and it ruffled the